Today, we are going to talk about the importance of allowing our emotions to be fully expressed and how to embrace the sensations that they bring to our bodies and the profound impact this practice can have on our well-being. Emotions are energy, and they need to be moved through and complete their creation cycle. It's important not to minimize, avoid, or ignore them. Have you ever heard of this expression? Anything you resist persists. So the way to deal with emotions is to allow them to be fully expressed and felt. 12 years ago, when I came to Canada, I thought that it would be a chance to shift my career and do what I really loved, which was teaching. I had lived in Mexico for a few years before coming to Canada, and I'm a Spanish major. So I thought that with my experience in teaching and the love of language, I wanted to make a living by teaching Spanish. But I faced countless rejections. I visited private language schools and made calls, but I was met with responses like, we can't market a non-native speaker, or people would normally want to study with native speakers and not with you. I took these words to heart and felt really unworthy. Teaching was something I loved, so I felt really disappointed. And I internalized this rejection and leading me to believe I wasn't good enough and that my dream was not possible. And also because as a newcomer, I needed a stable income to build my life in Canada. So I chose a career in international business again, because I could leverage my experience in Mexico and use my language skills. And I landed a job and also went to business school to get a certificate in international business, thinking that if I had both experience and certificate, I thought that I could improve my career, and it's almost like climbing the corporate ladder. Fast forward today, now that I've reignited my passion and found what I really wanted to do with my life, sometimes this fear of rejection from the past, the rejection I faced when I was pursuing my dream, shows up, and I feel hesitant to reach out to people. The fear of visiting companies and the anxiety of networking continues to hold me back, making me feel uncomfortable to fully embrace new opportunities. But I also know that by avoiding my fear, I was limiting my potential and denying myself opportunities. So I wanted to process my emotions and face this fear of rejection. I've learned that we keep our fear in our bodies, and our bodies have memories. So I decided to go inside and hold a space for myself to feel the fear and all the emotions that showed up. And this is how I did. So first, I sat down and closed my eyes. I remembered those moments of rejection and the words I heard. Then I paid attention to how this fear showed up in my body. I noticed the tightness in my chest and throat. I allowed these sensations to be present without trying to change them. Then I embraced the sensation. Instead of seeing it as something negative, I accepted it as part of my experience. I told myself that it was okay to feel this way and that it didn't make me weak or incapable. Finally, I nurtured this emotion. I took deep breath, spoke kindly to myself. I listened to my inner voice saying, I am so afraid. I don't want to visit companies. I don't want to go out. I don't want to reach out to people. I don't want to network. And I don't want to feel disappointment. And I'm so heartbroken. As I was paying attention to this inner voice, tears came, and I realized how much this past memory still affected me. I felt like the door to my dream had been shut down and leaving me with no choice but to do a job that didn't fulfill my soul. I sat there and cried, reminding myself that it was okay to feel afraid, sad, and disappointed. I assured myself that I was safe and capable of handling the situation. Then I imagined a white light filling up my heart, healing it. I visualized this light as a source of warmth and comfort, gradually dissolving the pain and the hurt that I had been carrying. And this light represented hope, renewal, and the possibility of a fresh start. As the light filled my heart, I felt a sensation of lightness and openness, like the weight of my past burdens was lifting. I asked myself if it was possible to take just one baby step forward. This step didn't need to be significant, just a small movement toward my dreams. I felt my body slightly leaning forward, a sign that it was ready and willing to take action. This gentle shift meant my readiness to move past the fear and start rebuilding my path one small step at a time. By fully acknowledging my fear and giving a space, I felt more in control and less overwhelmed. This tightness in my chest and throat was gone. I felt better and more present and more capable of facing whatever might come my way. Emotions are energy, like I said, and they need to move through and complete their creation cycle. When we allow our emotions to be fully expressed, we enable this energy to move through us, leading to a sense of completion and release. This is why it's so important not to minimize, avoid, or ignore our emotions. It's okay to just cry. Sometimes we just need to allow ourselves to cry. I forgot where I heard it, but someone once said, tears are water to nourish our soul. So how can you start holding space for your own emotions? Here are some practical steps. First, create a safe space for emotional expressions. Find a quiet place where you can be alone and uninterrupted. Then practice mindfulness and body awareness. Pay attention to how your emotions show up in your body. Embrace your emotions without judgment. Accept them as a part of your experience and remind yourself that it's okay to feel this way. And nurture your emotions like if you were to nurture your baby. Speak kindly to yourself, take deep breath, and provide reassurance. Whatever you need, you will hear the voice. You ask yourself, what do you need? Then you will hear it. If you don't hear anything, it's okay. Just be there and be present with your emotions. And of course, this process isn't always easy. You might feel resistance or judgment from yourself. And it's important to be patient and gentle with yourself as you practice holding space for your emotions. So to recap, when you feel strong emotions, acknowledging and embracing them can lead to profound personal growth and emotional well-being. By allowing emotions to move through and complete their creation cycle, you can feel lighter, more acknowledged, and ultimately better. I encourage you to try holding space for your own emotions and see how it transforms your experience. And share your stories and experiences with me. I'd love to hear from you. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review, and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, go to the show notes and grab the free guide to build a solid foundation to transform your life. Until next time, keep shining.